Good afternoon, guys, and happy Monday to all of your sunshiny faces. My nose is all stuffed up, guys, and like, honestly, I think it's from allergies, but here's a really weird thing that I mentioned to my mom. I was almost thinking it myself, and then she also ended up saying it, and I was like, it's weird, I was thinking the same thing. Because what I've noticed is, and I don't know 100% what it's actually from, but it seems like I get congested, like allergies sort of, but it's not like normal allergies. Right now I actually feel sort of like normal, but it'll be like right at the top base of my nose, and like if I pinch it like this, it actually feels like it relieves some of like the pressure and like the, like, I don't know, like it just like, it feels like it's like my nose is stuffy, but like up here, like, and I can't do anything about it. Like blowing it doesn't help. Like it feels just like completely stuffed up, but not like a running nose or anything like that. It just feels like it's completely like a stuffed nose, not stuffed up, like completely, like, and like it's hard to breathe, but it's weird. What I've noticed is it seems like it's almost always on the days when I wind up having coffee, or like a lot of coffee, which my mom was like, maybe you're allergic to it, because that's literally what I ended up saying. It's weird when I wind up having, like, I'll get coffee from like a place or whatever, or like pre-made, like I'll have like the Starbucks, like a Starbucks, I guess like the Frappuccinos or whatever, like the, you know, pre-made, is that what it is called? Like the pre-made, like the ones in the jar, you know, I'll wind up having those. Totally fine. I didn't notice that happening. And if I don't have that much coffee, and if I wind up having like, what was I gonna say, like Starbucks coffees like we got yesterday when we went grocery shopping, I'm totally fine. Like it's not, and then like I feel like I have a hard time breathing almost because I'm so congested, and so either I have to breathe through my mouth, which doesn't seem to help really, or like I like just feel like totally like my chest, like I can't breathe. And it's weird because this has been going on actually for a while now, and I have never really been able to pinpoint it. And like I'll just feel like I have to like take a really deep breath sometimes, and like I don't know, and I was like, maybe it's from the caffeine, but I can drink like other caffeinated drinks though totally fine. Like I can have a Coke, I can have you know, like drinks with caffeine in them and stuff like that, and again, I can be totally fine. And like I said, it's not all the time when I have coffee, but it seems like it's like 90% of the time when I have coffee. So I don't know, maybe if like I'm allergic to like the creamer, like to like the milk, and maybe that's why like certain coffees I'm not as like affected by. I don't know. And then like I don't know why too, because like I have like obviously again I had Starbucks Frappuccino yesterday, and then I made Starbucks, I made, what's it called? I used my French press and made coffee with like the Starbucks ground coffee. So I'm like, but it's like sort of the same coffee, right? Like it's from Starbucks. So like, I don't know. And like even too, like if I have like, 'cause normally I'll get a Frappuccino at Starbucks, even if it's cold out. Sometimes in the winter I'll wind up having, what's it called? Like a white chocolate mocha, which is like, I feel like maybe more coffee than it is not. But yeah, like I said, I just like, and I know it can't be from like completely from caffeine, because again, like I can be having, like yesterday I had, I think, yeah, it was yesterday, after I had the Starbucks coffee, I also had a Coke. Like that was a lot of caffeine for one day. And again, I only drink maybe about a cup, like not a cup like a mug worth, but actually like a cup. I didn't even drink a full cup of coffee today. Like I had maybe like a third, 3/4 of a cup, you know, of like coffee, maybe even honestly less than that, like maybe about a half a cup of coffee, because I filled up my cup, which I think is normally about 1 full cup of coffee, and I did add creamer to it, and I added ice to it too, so like I know it's not that. I mean, obviously, and I don't make it super strong either too. Normally I add 2 cups or 4 cups to 2 scoops, which is 2 tablespoons of coffee. So I don't make my coffee that strong either, like for a reason it to be really, really caffeinated or anything. But I don't know, it's just the weirdest thing. Like I was telling my mom too, because like, I don't know, it's like I said, just really weird. And I was like telling her, I was like, my nose gets all stuffed up, and she's like, oh, I think you should take an allergy pill. And I was like, but it's like not like normal allergies. Like I don't know, like I get normal allergies still, but like this especially lately has been different. So I don't know if it has anything to do with the coffee. It's just a really weird like coincidence, it always seems like. But again, I'm not totally sure. It's a really weird. But my mom was like, originally when she came in here, before I even mentioned the thing about the coffee, she was like, oh, you should be taking like a daily allergy pill or whatever. And I was like, no, but it feels like it's like always like right here. And she's like your sinuses. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, and then that's why I said the thing about the coffee. And I was like, I'd prefer to take like maybe just like nasal spray instead, like allergy nasal spray, because I do have regular seasonal allergies and all that kind of stuff, and maybe I'm allergic to the dogs, like I don't totally know, but it's one of those things that has been really bugging me. And like I said, this has maybe been like a 2 or so year thing, and it's never like really bad, but it's just one of those things that's like really annoying me. And like sometimes I can't focus because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't breathe right now. And so like I said, but it seems like it's always like up here and like not so much like my nose. And like no matter what I do, it's like I can't like get relief, like and like blowing my nose doesn't help. Like it's not just like a cold, like oh I have a stuffy nose, or like, you know, like sinus stuff because of like my nose, you know, like a cold or something like that. It's like I just can't get it to go away sometimes, and it's really annoying. Anyways, so yeah, that was, like I said, one of the really weird things that happened today was like I was like thinking about this literally today, and then my mom brings it up, and then like, and I told her about what I sort of was thinking. Like I told her, I was like, it's weird, it seems like whenever I have coffee, and then she's like, maybe you're allergic to it. And I was like, it's so weird, I was thinking about that today. Another thing like that literally happened today, literally 10 minutes before this happens. I tell my mom, I was like, oh, you might want to text my aunt, you know, the one who we went to the football game with 2 weeks ago, because she wanted to see one of Jack's games, and she lives in like the town over from us, and she went to a different high school. And so she was like, oh, if like this, you know, if they wind up playing at home, let me know, because that would be sort of closer for her to go to, or if, you know, they're playing one of the 2 towns, because technically the one school that she ended up going to is right next to where she lives, and then the town that she's in, like we also play their football team. And so but we're not playing the town that she lives in football team at their school. We're playing them at home, and we're actually playing them next week, and then the following week we're playing her old high school that is, again, right like literally a very short distance away, and we're playing them away. So I don't know if she's gonna want to go to either of those, but that's what I literally told my mom. I was like, oh, you should text her and let her know that, like, you know, the game's next week, and if she wants to come to the home game, because she did say she wanted to come to a home game as well, so I think she was planning on possibly coming to this week's game. So like I said, we ended up I told my mom to tell her that, and literally my mom's like, okay, but I'm not gonna do it tonight. And I was like, oh, you don't have to. Like, I think it was already maybe like around 8 or 9 o'clock or something like that. I was like, it's probably late, like, you know, she might be asleep or whatever. And literally, like I said, maybe about 5 or 10 minutes later, I hadn't even got up to leave because I was sitting in the living room, like, just for like a couple minutes, and I hadn't even got up to leave yet, and my mom's like, oh, I don't even need to text her tomorrow. She just texted me and asked me literally that exact same thing. She was like, she just asked me if the game's at home, who they're playing, or if it was away, and she's like, it looks like it says that they're home, is that right? And my mom's like, yeah, it is. She's like, it's funny, Kayla just told me to text you about that, which, like, it was so bizarre. But this happened twice today so far, then where like I've almost been able to like see into the future a little bit, and like something that winds up like coming into being completely coincidental later in the day, or like I said, in that instance, literally 5 minutes later. So it was just super scary too, because then all of a sudden, like I said, I was sitting there and I hear my mom like text message go off, and she's like, oh, I don't even need to, she just texted me right now and asked me that exact question. I was like, that's creepy. That is like, has that ever happened to anybody else? Like, I don't feel like it happens that often, never that fast either. Like sometimes it'll be like, oh, I'm thinking about this thing or whatever, and like then like, you know, winds up happening or something like that. But it'll be like later in the day, or maybe like a couple days later I'll be like, oh, I haven't seen that person, and then like I'll see them like later in that week or something like that. I've never had that happen where it's like literally like a couple minutes later. Like I said, it wasn't even like, it couldn't have been, probably close to like 5 minutes, and I was like, that's scary. And I was like, are you sure you didn't text her? Like my mom was just completely like messing with me, like, oh, actually I did text her, you know, sort of thing. She's like, no, I didn't. She's like, she actually texted me. I was like, that's a little creepy. I was like, how does like she know that? This happened too sometimes with our neighbor. Like I don't remember what it was, but it was like 2 different occasions, or maybe even 3. I think I was talking to my mom about the vegetable garden is on the one side of our house that's right next to our one neighbor's, and I was talking to my mom about something about it, and then like later that day my mom was like, oh yeah, the neighbor actually texted me today and told me that, you know, she loves them so much, and you know, something like that, and like, oh, it's such a cool idea, and you know, having like the raised flower beds, or you know, the vegetable garden beds, and I was like, that's like creepy. We were just talking about that today. I was like, how did she know that we were talking about that inside with like the windows closed and everything like that? It wasn't like she heard us or something. And like I said, there was a couple other times where it was something like really coincidental, and then like later in the day, like she's texted us, and I was like, does she have like our house bugged or something like that? Like she knows what we're talking about. But like this was weird because like I said, it was like my aunt. Like how did she know that we were literally just talking about that and about her? And then she winds up texting us. Like, yeah, like I said, sometimes that stuff is just really creepy how it like sort of winds up just happening. And like I said, like you'll wind up thinking about something or saying something or thinking something to yourself, and then somebody else winds up bringing it up, and you're like, whoa, how were you in my brain? You know, that sort of thing. So anyways, yeah guys, I'm gonna take a shower and get to bed. If you guys did enjoy today's vlog, make sure you guys give it a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.